If you're over 60, this one small habit could quietly increase your risk of stroke while you sleep. No warning, no pain. One moment you're fine, the next, your speech is slurred, your arm won't lift, or your balance is suddenly gone. As a brain doctor, I've seen too many older adults suffer strokes, not because of smoking, poor diet, or lack of exercise, but because of something they thought was helping. Vitamins. Yes, really. Every day, millions of seniors take supplements hoping to strengthen bones, boost energy, or improve memory. And many do help, but only when taken the right way. Some vitamins, especially in high doses or taken at the wrong time, can quietly raise your risk of stroke, brain bleeds, or blood pressure spikes. This is especially dangerous during the early morning hours when your brain is most vulnerable today. I'll walk you through 5 common vitamins that can put your brain at risk, especially if you're over 60. If you've ever taken vitamin D, B6A, or niacin, please keep watching. This could protect your health or even save your life. Let's start with the most surprising. 1. Vitamin D. You've probably heard. It helps your bones, mood, and immune system. And that's true in moderation. But high doses of vitamin D, especially taken at night, can silently increase your risk of stroke. Let me tell you about Mr. Walter, a 74-year-old Navy veteran who was disciplined and took his health seriously. Every day, he took a 10,000 IU vitamin D capsule, thinking it would protect his bones. But one morning, his wife found him confused. He couldn't speak properly, and his right arm was limp. He had suffered a stroke in his sleep. His lab results showed extremely high calcium levels, stiff arteries, and dangerously unstable blood pressure. The cause? Vitamin D toxicity. When you take too much vitamin D, especially without medical supervision, it causes calcium to build up in your bloodstream. Your body doesn't know what to do with all that extra calcium, so it starts depositing it into your arteries, making them stiff and narrow, increasing the risk of a clot that can go straight to the brain as we age. Our arteries naturally lose flexibility. Add in dehydration, poor sleep, and a spike in calcium at night, and you've got the perfect storm for a stroke. Here's the scary part. There are no warning signs. You go to bed feeling fine and wake up with your life changed forever. Many over-the-counter vitamin D supplements in the U.S. contain 5,000 to 10,000 IU, much higher than older adults actually need. Studies suggest even 2. That's an IU daily can be too much if you're not deficient. So here's what you need to do. Get your vitamin D levels tested regularly. Take vitamin D in the morning, not before bed. If you're also taking calcium or heart medications, be extra careful. Do you know how many I's your supplement has? If you take vitamin D, type D in the comments. Let's open the conversation now. Let's talk about the next dangerous one. Vitamin E. Vitamin E is often called the heart helper. Many people over 60 take it to improve circulation, memory, or even skin health. But here's what the bottle won't tell you. Too much vitamin E, especially if you're on heart medications or blood thinners, can dramatically raise your risk of a brain bleed. Take Mrs. Evelyn Brooks, an 81-year-old retired librarian from Ohio. She had a heart valve issue and was on warfarin, a common blood thinner. Her doctors monitored everything. Her blood work was fine. Her pressure was stable. But then she picked up a bottle of natural vitamin E she saw in a magazine, 800 IU per capsule. She thought it would help her memory and circulation. 3 weeks later, she was rushed to the ER with a severe headache, confusion, and vomiting. A brain scan showed a hemorrhagic stroke, bleeding inside the brain, not because of high blood pressure, not because of a fall, but because vitamin E, combined with her medication, made her blood too thin. A fragile blood vessel in her brain ruptured. Here's what most people don't know. Vitamin E in high doses acts as a natural anticoagulant. It thins your blood. If you're already on aspirin, Plavix, or any blood thinner and add high-dose vitamin E on top. Your risk of internal bleeding quietly increases, especially in the brain. And here's the kicker. The recommended daily amount for older adults is just 15 milligrams, about 22 IU, yet many store-bought supplements contain 200, 400, even 1,000 IU per capsule. No warning, no consultation, just daily use for years until something goes wrong. Mrs. Evelyn survived, but now she walks with a cane. Her short-term memory was never the same. Through tears, she told me, "I just wanted to help myself. I didn't know I was doing harm." And that's the hardest part, because she's not alone. Many older adults assume that if it's a vitamin, it must be safe. But that's not always true, especially if you're on medications or dealing with high blood pressure or heart issues. Here's what you can do to protect yourself. Never start a new supplement without talking to your doctor. Check your dosages. More is not always better. Get your blood levels tested before starting vitamins like D or E. And most importantly, take your supplements at the right time of day. If you're taking vitamin D, type D in the comments. If you take vitamin E, type E. Let's get the conversation going. You might help someone else just by sharing your experience. And if this video helped you think twice about your routine, please like it and subscribe to Health 365 for more real, science-based tips for healthy aging. The brain risks no one warns you optive. The idea of a brain bleed wasn't scary enough. There's another vitamin 1 many people take for nerve support and energy that can actually damage your nerves, sometimes permanently. Let's talk about vitamin B6.1. Vitamin B6, the nerve support that can hurt your nerves. Vitamin B6 is often promoted as a brain booster or nerve support. You've probably seen it on pharmacy shelves claiming to improve energy, focus, and memory. Some people even recommend it for aging nerves. But here's what most older adults are never told. Too much vitamin B6 can actually harm your nerves. And in some cases, the damage is irreversible. Take Mr. Harold Jenkins, 76, a retired truck driver from Kansas. He came to my clinic because his feet felt numb, his hands were tingling, and his balance was off. At first, he thought it was just part of getting older, but then he started falling once, then again. The third time, he hit his head on the bathroom floor. When I reviewed his supplement list, the problem was obvious. He'd been taking a nerve support formula for over a year. The label advertised brain and circulation benefits, but each tablet contained 100 milligrams of B6, and he was taking 2 a day. That's 200 milligrams daily, over 10 times. The safe upper limit for seniors. Here's the dangerous part. Unlike some vitamins that flush out through urine, B6 builds up in your system over time. In older adults, that buildup can damage the protective covering around your nerves, like stripping the insulation off a wire. The result? Numbness, tingling, weakness, tremors, confusion. These symptoms creep in slowly, often mistaken for arthritis, aging, or early dementia. But the real cause could be B6 toxicity, a slow, silent nerve injury caused by a supplement. Meant to help, Mr. Jenkins was lucky. We stopped the supplement in time, and the damage didn't progress further. But he still walks with a cane. He told me, "I just wanted to protect my brain. I didn't realize I was poisoning it." The truth is older adults only need 2 to 10 milligrams of B6 per day, including what they get from food. But many brain or nerve formulas sold online contain 50, 100, even 200 milligrams per pill. Please, if you're taking any supplement for brain, nerves, or energy, check the label. Know your numbers. And if you've used a supplement like this, type B6 in the comments below. 2. Vitamin A, good for vision. Yes, but too much can harm your brain. You've likely heard that vitamin A is essential for healthy eyesight. Maybe you've taken it for your skin, immune system, or because someone said it helps you age gracefully. But here's what almost no one tells you. Too much vitamin A doesn't just sit in your system. It builds up, and that buildup can silently increase pressure inside your skull, leading to symptoms that mimic a stroke. Take Ms. Dorothy Simmons, 79, a retired piano teacher from Oregon. She was healthy, independent, and passionate about music. But one day, she started getting daily headaches, followed by blurred vision, dizziness, and slurred speech. Her family feared she'd had a stroke, but her brain scan told a different story. There was no clot, no bleeding, but the pressure inside her brain was dangerously high. Her spinal fluid wasn't draining properly. Small veins were under stress. The diagnosis: vitamin A toxicity. Ms. Simmons had been taking a high-dose supplement for eye and skin health minus 10,000 IU per day for over 5 years, unaware that it was harming her from the inside. Here's the science. Vitamin A is fat-soluble, which means it's stored in your liver and tissues. It doesn't flush out easily like vitamins B or C, and as we age, our liver becomes less efficient at processing it, allowing dangerous levels to accumulate faster. Excess vitamin A can cause a condition called pseudotumor cerebri, a buildup of pressure in the skull that mimics a brain tumor. Symptoms include headaches, blurred or double vision, nausea, dizziness, permanent vision loss, even cognitive decline. Multivitamins already contain 100% of the recommended daily amount of vitamin A, and people like Ms. Simmons often unknowingly double or triple their intake by adding separate eye or skin supplements. The safe upper limit for seniors is 2,500 to 3,000 IU per day, and only when needed under medical supervision. But many supplements on store shelves contain 5,000 to 10,000 IU. It's taken daily for months or years. Ms. Simmons is now recovering slowly. She needs regular eye exams, pressure monitoring, and balance therapy. She told me, "I thought I was helping my body. I never imagined it could hurt my brain." 3. Niacin vitamin B3, heart helper or blood pressure hazard. Now, if you thought vision supplements were risky, wait until we talk about niacin, also known as vitamin B3. Niacin is often praised as a natural way to lower cholesterol. Some doctors even prescribe it. You'll also find it in energy drinks, heart health formulas, and fortified cereals. But here's what most people, especially older adults, don't know. High doses of niacin can cause sudden spikes and drops in blood pressure, putting you at risk for stroke. Meet Mr. Frank Miller, 82, a retired postal worker from Florida. He came to see me with a strange set of symptoms: hot flushing in his face, pounding in his chest, dizziness. Every morning his wife thought it was anxiety. His son blamed his blood pressure meds. But when we looked deeper, the cause was hiding in plain sight. Frank had been taking an over-the-counter heart health supplement with a high dose of niacin. Niacin can cause sudden dilation of blood vessels, making you feel flushed, lightheaded, or even faint. In older adults whose cardiovascular systems are already more fragile, that can quickly lead to heart palpitations, dangerous blood pressure swings, in some cases stroke. In controlled doses, niacin can have benefits, but it must be medically supervised. Many store-bought supplements contain 500 milligrams or more, far above the safe range for unsupervised use. Mr. Miller stopped the supplement. His symptoms eased and his blood pressure stabilized. But not everyone is as lucky. The bottom line: just because something is sold over the counter doesn't mean it's safe, especially as we age. Here's what I tell every patient over 60. Check your supplement labels. Don't assume more is better. Talk to your doctor before adding anything new. Get your blood levels tested if you're taking D, E, B6, A, or niacin. If you're currently taking any of these vitamins or know someone who is, share your experience in the comments. Type B6A or niacin below. Let's get the conversation started. You might help someone avoid a serious health risk. And if this information helped you, like the video, subscribe to Health 365, and stay informed with honest, science-backed tips made especially for older adults. Niacin, heart helper, or hidden hazard. You may have seen supplements that say things like, supports cholesterol and circulation. But flip the bottle around, and you'll often find something shocking. 1,000 milligrams of niacin per serving. That's exactly what Mr. Dennis, 82, was taking. Twice a day, 2,000 milligrams daily. That's more than 60 times what most seniors actually need. So what happens when you take high doses of niacin? At first, your blood vessels expand, which is why your face may feel flushed or warm. But shortly after, those same vessels snap back and constrict, sometimes sharply. That sudden tightening can raise your blood pressure, stress your heart, reduce blood flow to your brain over time. This yo-yo effect is like tapping a hammer on thin glass. Eventually, something cracks. Dennis experienced what's called a transient ischemic attack, TIA, often called a mini-stroke. His speech slurred for about 2 minutes, then returned. He thought it was a fluke, but I had to give him the hard truth. Your daily supplement, the one you thought was helping your heart, was quietly harming your brain. And Dennis isn't alone. Many older adults take high-dose niacin without even realizing it. They see flush-free or extended release on the label and assume it's safe. But even those forms can raise blood pressure, trigger atrial fibrillation, affect blood sugar levels here. What every older adult should know. For people over 60, anything above 50 milligrams of niacin per day should be taken only under medical supervision. If you have high blood pressure, heart rhythm issues, you're on prescription medication, always check the label. Always talk to your doctor. Dennis stopped taking niacin, and thankfully, his symptoms improved. No permanent damage. But I'll never forget what he said. "Doc, I thought I was doing everything right. I didn't know I was gambling with my brain. So what should you take instead? Or better yet, what should you eat?" By now, you might be asking, if these vitamins can be risky, what's the safer option? Great question, because the truth is, your body wasn't built to run on pills. It was designed to thrive on real food. Whole, natural, nutrient-rich foods that your brain can recognize, absorb, and use in exactly the right amounts. Let me introduce you to Mrs. Margaret Wilson, 73, a retired school principal from Arizona. When I first met her, she opened a drawer packed with supplements: vitamin D for her bones, vitamin E for heart health, B-complex for energy, niacin for cholesterol, multivitamin A, few more for brain support. She looked at me and said, "I'm doing everything right, Doc." But something didn't add up. She was feeling dizzy in the mornings. Her balance was off. Her blood pressure kept climbing, so we did something simple but radical. We cleared the clutter, one by one. We replaced the pills with food. No fancy diet, no expensive program, just real food at the right time, in the right combinations. Here's what her breakfast looked like: 1 boiled egg, clean, high-quality protein, 1/2 an avocado, full of brain-healthy fats, 1 slice of whole grain, toast for steady, balanced energy, a handful of blueberries, rich in antioxidants to protect brain cells, a glass of room-temperature water to hydrate the brain sometimes. She added a few walnuts or almonds. No powders, no pills, just real nourishment. Within a few weeks, Maggie felt a real difference. The dizziness disappeared, her blood pressure stabilized, her energy returned, and she told me her mind felt sharper than it had in years. Why did it work? Because your brain doesn't need magos. It needs balance. Your brain thrives on hydration, healthy fats, consistent fuel, macronutrients in natural form. Some of the best brain-protecting foods for older adults include Leafy greens like spinach and kale high in folate and antioxidants. Fatty fish like salmon or sardines, rich in omega-3s berries. It's packed with polyphenols to reduce inflammation. Nuts and seeds for vitamin E, magnesium, and healthy fats. Whole grains to stabilize blood sugar and support circulation. And here's the bonus. These foods don't just protect your brain, they also support your heart, bones, mood, and mobility. You're not just eating. You're healing with every bite. A final wake-up call. Awareness is the best medicine at this stage in life. Every choice matters more. And the truth is, it's not the pills you take, it's what you understand about them that truly protects. You dot your body at 60, 70, or 80 doesn't process vitamins the same way it did decades ago. Even well-meaning habits, like taking supplements, can quietly backfire. So don't fear vitamins, respect them. Read the labels, ask your doctor, and most importantly, listen to your body, especially when it whispers. If any part of this message resonated with you, let me know. What's one change you'll make starting tomorrow? Type it in the comments. Let's inspire each other.